All right, so today what I want to talk about is a strategy that I used in my math classes that really helped all my students and led to some great conversations. And basically, what I would do is put a problem on the board. The students would be asked to, solve it. I wouldn't necessarily know the answer. I'd have the answer sheet, but I didn't always look. And I'd walk around and take a look at what the students were doing. And then when we finished, they were asked to share their answers and their strategies. Now, some teachers would be like, but Shay, that takes a long time. Why don't you just have the child who did it correctly go up, share their strategy, and move on? And I was like, but a lot then will disengage and they won't really understand what they may or may not have done correctly. But then you also discover some pretty amazing things. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say I threw this problem up. It's pretty typical for fifth grade, and the students would go ahead, they'd solve it. The child who shared their strategy would basically discuss regrouping, maybe they'd use the word borrow, but what they would do is they'd be like 0, take away 5, you can't do that. I'm going to go over and borrow 1, it's now 10, take away 5. Now that 2 turned into a 1, I can't take 7 away from 1, I'm going to borrow, I'm going to turn it into 11, take away 7, that gives me 4. Come on over, I've got a 2, I've got to take from the 1, move it over, it's 12, take away 8, that gives me 4. My answer is 445. And basically, they had memorized the procedure really well. And so one day I had this problem up. Everybody seemed great. A number of students shared their strategies, but basically it was this. And then, just as I was about to move on, one more student who usually didn't talk too much said, "Can I share my strategy?" And your inclination is time is short, time is limited, but I wanted to give this student the opportunity to share. And I was so glad I did. Take a look at what he did. So, same problem, put it up there, but he did 0, take away 5, negative 5. 20, take away 70, negative 50. 300, take away 800, negative 500. 1,000, take away 0, that's 1,000. He had an expression. Then he did 1,000 minus 500, that's 500. Rewrite, minus 50, minus 5. 500, take away 50, now I have 450. 450 minus 5 is 445. He got the same answer. But look at what he did. He was able to use negative numbers, and he definitely was using place value. Now, yes, this takes more paper. It took more space, but it was a much more sophisticated strategy. So what I might invite you to do is occasionally you have those students who are doing really well. They need a little challenge. Ask them to solve their problems this way. Make sure it really works. I'd be interested in seeing how it goes. Give it a try. Happy teaching!